format today. We'll start with the opening statement, and we'll go questions to the girls. Okay. Oh, wait just a second. Just let me make sure. No, you're good. You're good. Make sure he's got you on. You good? Okay. Go ahead, Coach.
The beauty of this part of the year is that you can say survive in advance, and that's kind of what we did today. I thought we had a really good showing in the opening half. Played pretty good in the third quarter, but I think that's where you need to give credit to Liberty. I thought they did a fantastic job of exploiting us in certain areas. They did a really good job. We got to be much better in the post. We elected to go with a one-on-one approach, and we didn't win many of those battles, and they took advantage of it. So we knew it was going to be a tough battle. Carrie's teams always play extremely hard. They're very talented. They're very unorthodox in what they run, how they run it, and it's something we haven't seen in a while because, nobody plays like that in the SEC. So it took us a little while to adjust, but thank goodness for, Georgia's performance, and I thought her and Deja really carried us from a mental standpoint, and we've got to have others step up if we want to continue on.
We'll open it up now for questions for our student athletes, Georgia Amore and Deja Lawrence. Where's my microphone? Yeah.
Caroline Mikowskis, Lexington Herald Leader. Georgia, you were finding opportunities to create opportunities all day. Can you talk about what you saw in the defense so that you were able to exploit it?
Just this break since about we lost to Oklahoma. I think I took 2 days off and then haven't stopped since. Trying to get back into a flow, trying to find shots, create things for everything else, for everyone else. And, it's just the confidence that I have in myself, but it's the preparation as well.
Georgia, Corey here with Bosmer Media. Were you aware that you were 1 point away from breaking the scoring record by a player in the tournament game?
Oh, no.
Talia Goodman with On 3. In those last kind of 2 minutes when they were able to cut it to 4 and then 3 and then 1, what were you guys saying to the rest of your team to get really in the moment and pull that one out?
I think just to meet the energy and the moment, you see it by the bank 3, like anything can happen. So we just had to be on guard and kind of the initiators, not reactive. And I think that, in that stretch, like you said, like the 4-3, whatever, we were reactive.
And also just stay calm, stay poised, stay focused. Like G just said, it's March. Anything can happen. So just staying true to ourselves and not letting anything else make us make mental mistakes like that.
Maybe with ESPN, what were they doing differently in the fourth quarter to kind of really slow y'all down offensively, especially how well y'all were in those first 3 quarters?
They definitely, turned up the intensity and the pressure, but I think our biggest thing is we just can't get stagnant. We have to keep moving. We have to keep creating for each other, and just be confident, move to want to shoot, move to want to be open. I don't think we had the mindset like we did in the first half.
Hold on just a second. Sorry. Can we make sure the microphone's, he's not picking the microphone up.
This is your 5th straight NCAA tournament. Does this one feel different knowing it is your last one?
No, it's the same mentality every single tournament. I think, within the 5, I've had very, very different outcomes all 5. So obviously you want to make the push this last one and treat it as such, but the mentality has always just been the same to just go out and put your best effort out.
Phoenix Stevens, Kentucky Sports Radio. Deja, when Liberty starts to make that run, just from your perspective, things aren't going well offensively. Maybe just what do you have to do to kind of make sure you stay calm in that moment?
Just focus on defense. If the offense isn't flowing, we have to focus on defense and getting stopped so we can try to go in transition because we're really great in transition. So that's my focus and that's the rest of the team's focus. When one thing isn't working, we have to pick it up in another aspect in the game.
Hi, Steve Bittenbender, Associated Press, for both Georgia and Deja. Toward the end of the first half there, when they had cut it to 7 and Georgia, you had the ball. Could you both kind of talk me through what you were seeing on the court that kind of led Georgia to you finding Deja in the corner there for what turned out to be a very critical three-pointer there at the buzzer?
Yeah, I mean, coming down the court, we knew we were going to set a ball screen, and they like to ice that. So as soon as she jumped, I was able to cut her off. And I know that the help turned their heads, and I knew that Deja's always going to be in that corner. So I kind of threw it. I think it was kind of off pass. So I threw it kind of knowing she was there, but I knew she was going to hit it down.
For sure. Just playing off Georgia, I know anytime she comes off the screen, either I need to go in the corner or just rise up so I can be in those gaps so she can find me and just knock the shot down.
Tanya Witt, Rise Up Sports. This is for either of you. 12 o'clock game on a Friday, a great atmosphere. What's your message to Big Blue Nation for Sunday?
Come out and do the same. I mean, we have a great game. Whoever wins this next game, they're a good team, and we can see that. Obviously, that this game, the crowd does help. The energy, the momentum does help.
For sure, just come out and support. Like G said, there was a moment in the game when the crowd they really pumped up our energy, so it really helps. Just come out, support, and you're going to have a great time. Next game, we're going to make it a lot more fun than we did this game. So just come out, support us.
Jordan Adams, Fox 56 here in Lexington for either of you guys. Obviously, third quarter looking closer to maybe a 20-point win, and then obviously things kind of went the other direction. Are there any positives that you can take? Obviously, you didn't want the game to go the way it did, but what positives can you take squeaking out this one?
I mean, maybe it alarmed us to how much is, I think we're I don't want to use that excuse, but a new group. First tournament for a lot of the girls, and it's a situation where we might be the highest seed, but Liberty had nothing to lose. They want to come out, they want to win, they had all that energy. So I think in a positive light to recognize that everyone wants that spot, everyone wants to advance. It's not the non-conference where it's up 20 and now it's let's just ride it out. We have to keep the pedal down.
I agree with everything she said. Yeah.
Any other questions for our student athletes? We do not have any questions online on Zoom, so she can be dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll open it up for questions for our head coach. Just remember, please raise your hand and identify your name and media affiliation.
Coach Bryson Gordon, Lynchburg News and Events. You turn on the film for Liberty and they go through Smuda a lot, but it was Stout, the freshman, who was really working there in the fourth quarter. What was it, so difficult about her that she was getting so many buckets against your talented bigs?
Yeah, I was disappointed with our post defense, and we let the kids know we got to be better. I thought we were late. She did a really good job of establishing position down low, and then she's got a sweeping hook where it's really hard to defend it if you allow her to get down low. So she played extremely well. Smuda played well too. They hit some tough shots, and that's an area that we talked about. Obviously we don't have much time to get ready for the next opportunity, but we will talk about our post defense.
Phoenix Stevens, Kentucky Sports Radio. Coach, from our perspective, we tend to think about, in these win or go home kind of games, tightness, and especially in a situation like that where, you're on the ropes a little bit. Just what do you as a coach have to do to make sure you all don't get tight, that you stay loose and continue to do what you do?
Yeah, stay calm, stay confident in our kids. I thought what happened down the stretch, and this is just my recollection without watching film, they made shots and we didn't. That sounds very obvious, but we missed some shots, some back rim shots, and then I think it allowed us, it took our energy away. Then we were playing not to lose as opposed to win the basketball game. And you have to give them credit because they were the aggressors. As Georgia mentioned, when you're down like that, you don't really have much to lose. You might as well go all out, and they were aggressive and confident in their shots. And I thought once we missed a few, we were a little bit tentative. And then especially going down the last 5 minutes, we were trying to Band-Aid every situation because Tiani and Clara fouled out, and it kind of took away our anchor for our post defense.
Caroline Mikauskis, Lexington Herald Leader. Coach. Tiani and Clara fouling out. Testing?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Caroline Mikauskis, Lexington Herald Leader. Coach, with Tiani and Clara both fouling out, can you kind of walk us through what you were thinking when that critical travel call was called?
This is a PG, no. There's a lot. It's got to be next play mentality, and obviously momentum was not in our favor, and so I had to figure out what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it, it's thin. Obviously, our bench is thin right now, but I thought Clara Silva came in and did an okay job towards the end for us. They all have to be better, but we need Tiani and we need Clara on the floor. I didn't think that either one of them played particularly well from an emotional standpoint. Clara had decent numbers, but I thought both of them were a little bit step slow. And a lot of that you can attest that to. It's been 14 days since we played, and so I think I had counted Liberty had played like 4 or 5 games since our last game, and so we knew it was going to be a little bit of either rest or rusted, and I thought we just didn't have that cohesiveness throughout the basketball game.
Yeah, Kenny, Ben Baby with ESPN. When you were looking at kind of coming over here, and obviously Deja transfer, Georgia transfer, some of the key players, when you were looking at the mix of who you wanted to be able to have a team to make a run, what were the key criteria you were really looking for when it gets to this time of year?
Yeah, I just wanted good kids who are willing to sacrifice a little bit of themselves for the betterment of the team. I knew Georgia was going to be a mainstay in our offense and philosophy of what we were going to try to do, and that actually helped us in the recruiting process. When Deja had an opportunity, she said, to play with Georgia, she wanted to jump on it. Jordan Obi was the same way. Tiani was the same way. So, we just wanted to build around it, and we wanted to make sure we put pieces together and not just have a collection of talent. And I thought we did a really good job of that, and as evident, the way that they've come together such a short time, but the way they play together, you would look at them and think that they've been together for a while. And the more astonishing thing is that we didn't scrimmage one time until mid-September, and they just locked in. And it was clumsy in the beginning, but they really got it together because they really trust each other.
Jenna Lifshin, Kentucky Colonel. Coach, in the last game, your team had 20 turnovers, and today there were only 7. Was that something you emphasized heading into the tournament in practice?
No, we honestly don't really talk about turnovers. They know when they turn the basketball over and then when it's a bad turnover. We want them to stay aggressive. They know right from wrong. And so it's not something that we harp on. And if I keep talking about turnovers, then they'll try to not make a turnover, and then they'll make a turnover. So we just want them to stay aggressive. And obviously, too, it's the style of play. Liberty plays a lot like we do on the defensive end. They don't get out in the passing lanes. They're not going to cause havoc on the perimeter and stealing the basketball. They protect the paint. And so that is just really a nature of who you're playing.
Randy Maynard, Nolan Group Media. Deja and Georgia both alluded to it, but how much was a crowd a factor, especially coming down the stretch?
From my perspective, I really don't know. I've coached in 900 games or whatever, and you're in the moment, and they feed off of it, and it's really good. And I know that they love it. Big Blue Nation is awesome. The renovations with the new place, the energy in there, the setup. It's perfect for women's basketball. So it's going to give us that push. I just learned to tune stuff out and don't really hear. It's like never mind. My wife talking. Sometimes you just have to tune some things out, and when you've done it so many times, you just kind of in the moment. I love my wife though. Yeah.
Sierra Newton with LEX 18. From an outsider's perspective, Silva looked like she had a pretty good game, but you described it as okay. From your perspective, what would you say she did well? What were you looking more of from her?
I'm mad at all 4 of them right now, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot. No. And again, you give credit to Liberty. They did a really good job of exploiting us down low, but they all know they have to play better. They do. They have to play early defense. I think, and you can attest some of that to the fact that, this is the first game out of the last 18 that we played against a non-SEC team. A little bit different, the way that they run their offense. I will admit they probably surprised our kids a little bit with their strength and their post up. But the Stout is a freshman, but Smoot is a senior, and they just compromised us a little bit. And we have to be better in that aspect on that end. All 4 of them, in order for us to be better and win.
Addie Miners with WLKY. Coach, something you talked about yesterday was that you guys have been emphasizing is playing a full 4 quarters and stringing it all together.
then today happens. What are you telling your girls now going ahead?
Get ready for who we play Sunday. And this time of the year, you know, you can have the feelings that you have right now, but as soon as I walk out of here, I'm going to be focused on the next game. And we won't even watch film. You know, we may watch a couple of clips so the kids can understand what they need to do, but we need to be focusing our full attention on the next game. And, you know, they need to be better. I need to be better. You know, I thought in the fourth quarter, you know, some of us stood around a little bit, as they alluded to. I thought we were waiting for Georgia to bring us home a little bit, but we all got to be present in the moment. And you know, there's some things that I would do differently. I need to do differently. But you learn this time of the year. You're playing against so many new teams that you have to adjust, but you know, you want to advance. So we'll focus that attention on ourselves and get ready for the next opportunity.
Hey, Coach. Brad Harvey from Collins Sportscast. I just was down the stretch. You're talking about them playing through the post and your defense. What about, you know, a change for you guys maybe in going through the post for you guys?
Let me say we played 20, 30 games, and we haven't done that yet. And so, you know, pretty much our offense, you know, you have to play to your strengths. And, you know, and if we can pull bigs away from the basket, it gives us a lot of driving lanes. Now we can penetrate, we can kick. Clara scores in a variety of ways. She's not like a Stout where, you know, she's going to be on the block, where she's going to turn, and that's all she does. And, you know, she's one of the best passing post players. So we're going to utilize all of her skill sets. And so it's gotten us this far, and it's who we are. And I think the only thing, you're not going to try to reinvent yourself in March. What you're going to try to do is just get better at what you do, and then maybe throw a couple of twists in there. So it's gotten us this point this far, and we're just going to continue doing what we've done.
Last question, I think.
Jordan Adams, Fox 56 News here in Lexington. Coach, same question I had for the girls. Any positives you can take away from this game, taking Liberty's best punch late and still coming away with the win, especially with a group that's a little bit maybe less experienced on this level than you're used to?
Absolutely. We get to play Sunday. You know, that's the best thing that you can take from this. And it is. They're new. This is, other than Georgia. Georgia came out like this was her 29th NCAA first-round tournament. And I thought Deja had really good energy. I thought Clara was a little bit off. I thought she was, you know, played through some emotion, and it kind of took her out of her game a little bit. But for Tiani, it was her first time playing in an NCAA tournament with a prominent role. Clara Silva was the first time she's ever been in an NCAA tournament. It's a different feel. So now when you go out there, Amelia Hassett, same thing. When you go out there, it's not like, okay, you lose today, who do you have on Sunday? It's you lose today, and, you know, you're done. You're done. So I think it was good. Obviously, the first round opponent, to get that under your belt, it's good. I think that they'll have a different mindset and a different emotion level when it comes to Sunday. So that's the good part about this, and that's why you hear coaches right now say survive in advance. You know, because when I walk out of here, you guys probably won't talk about this game forever. You know, and we'll be on to the next one, and that's what the tournament is all about. It wouldn't be madness, you know, without stuff like this.
Thank you, Coach Brooks. This concludes our press conference. Just a couple reminders. A recording of the press conference will be in the NCAA Digital Media Hub. Thank you.